Next on Wooster News tonight, the latest on a body found in Wooster. Investigators on scene more than 24 hours after the discovery. Plus, a central Massachusetts school is asking for opinions about a longtime mascot. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Still a lot of questions tonight about the victim found near a donation bin at the Salvation Army in Wooster Monday. A woman who identified herself as the victim's cousin showed up at the scene tonight. She was visibly upset and declined to go on camera, but she did say the victim was a woman. It's been more than 24 hours since the body was discovered in Wooster, and there's still little official information at this time. Investigators were back on scene today at the Salvation Army. Our Rutland Flaherty has the details.
Investigators back on scene where a body was found near a Salvation Army donation bin on Cambridge Street.
You don't have it very often, that's for sure.
Police are not confirming how the victim died or the identity. They do say they are processing the scene as if it were a homicide. The chief medical examiner is conducting the autopsy and detectives are collecting evidence.
It's scary. This is Worcester. It's not Boston, but it's getting to be Boston.
Police say the body was discovered just before 10 a.m. Monday near the Salvation Army store. A warehouse worker reported it. Authorities wouldn't say what condition the body was in. Some people who work nearby say the incident isn't shocking, while others are surprised by it.
Not really. It's just the way it is. There's too many out there, so that's not new to us.
It is shocking.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Police in Rutland are searching for a suspect accused of robbing a bank. These photos are of the suspect who police say walked into GFA Credit Union late last month and passed a note to the teller. The person made off with an undisclosed amount of money. Police are currently looking through area surveillance footage and asking for people to take a close look at these photos.
What we're asking people to do is look at the pictures. There's specific detail in those pictures, the shoes, the style of jacket that this person was actually wearing. Look at those. If any of that looks familiar, if someone is spending more than what they should, that's something we want to know about.
If you have any information, you're asked to contact Rutland Police. Administrators at Wachusett Regional High School are looking into potential changes for the Mountaineer Mascot. This week, an email was sent to students asking whether or not it is a proper depiction of the school community. Our Cam Jandro is live in Holden tonight with the details. Cam?
Yeah, Anna, the Mountaineer has really become a fixture here at Wachusett Regional High School over the last few decades. And today we heard from both parents and students here at the school who say there have been some alterations to the mascot over time, but they feel it's fine the way it is right now.
Wachusett Regional High School is looking for opinions about their Mountaineer mascot.
I think it's something that they've had for a long time, so if they decide to, fine, but it's not offensive to me.
The Mountaineer does hold a firearm. It's unknown if it's the reason the school sent out the survey this week. Parents we spoke to at the school Tuesday say it's not something they're concerned about.
It's historical in nature. It's a musket. It's not an AR-15, so I don't see the problem with it.
In an email sent out to students, Principal William Biando says, "I've been asked to explore whether the various constituencies, students, parents, staff, alumni, community members connected to our school community feel as though there should be some adjustments made to the depiction of the Mountaineer or not." Students were then asked to complete a survey about the mascot.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. I think it resembles a lot of what this community is about, where it started, its history.
There are no immediate plans to change the Mountaineer. Some are hoping it remains this way.
I think it's fine the way it is, and I don't think there's anything offensive about it.
Other schools have it. I don't really see why we have to change it. It's not that really, it's not directed towards anyone, or I don't think it's offensive towards anyone.
Now, that survey has since come to an end. The principal also saying in that letter they're not sure if they're going to be using that information for anything else other than determining whether or how the students feel about the Mountaineer mascot. Live at Wachusett Regional High School in Holden, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
A scary accident in Wooster this afternoon as a car and the trailer of an 18-wheeler collide. The car was hit by the 18-wheeler near Mill Street. The tractor trailer was making a right turn into the parking lot of Mill Street Plaza when the collision happened. Police say the driver of the car was taken to the hospital. Town officials in Holden have completed preliminary work to begin a project improving 2 streets in town. According to the Holden DPW, the project design, which is in its early stages, will provide roadway and traffic safety improvements from Main Street to Brattle Street along Shrewsbury Street and Doyle Road. The town is asking to schedule the project for the fiscal year 2024. A public meeting on the construction will be held Wednesday night at the Holden Municipal Light Plants. 3 Wooster residents are facing multiple charges for drug violations. Massachusetts State Police say they stopped a car on Belmont Street as part of a joint investigation by federal and state authorities. The 3 in the car were charged with trafficking in cocaine and conspiracy to violate drug laws. They say a kilogram of cocaine was found in the vehicle. All were scheduled to be arraigned in district court. Here in central Massachusetts, local businesses are also feeling the impact from the partial shutdown. It's not impacting employee pay, but it may soon be affecting their distribution. Our Brittany Schaefer spoke to local breweries impacted and has the latest.
A government agency approves all labels for new beer, wine, and spirits. Therefore, breweries can't distribute any new product until the government shutdown is over. And with no end in sight, local breweries like Greater Good say it's a concern. The partial government shutdown has hit day 18, and central Massachusetts' growing craft beer industry are among those impacted.
It's affecting craft beer for sure, because there's plenty of breweries that put out new beers every week, and they rely on getting that stuff registered.
The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, or TTB, is not reviewing any new submission during the shutdown. They are responsible for approving labels and licenses for any new beer, wine, or alcohol.
It will affect us, there's no doubt, because we have deadlines and product that is coming in the door that we are scheduling to put out, and if it's not turned around within a certain time, we have to be put on hold.
It will affect logistically some of the things that we do. Say we were putting out a new beer relatively soon. It would really, there'd be some hurdles to get around that, given that we can't register those new labels with TTP.
Wachusett Brewing Company in Westminster sells their beer across the Northeast. Compliance manager Kim Slayton says they prepared for the shutdown.
If you even hear that something like this is coming, you have to know to get all your ducks in a row, and for us, all of our beers in line, all of our labels, all the compliance, licensing, everything underway before something like this happens, because we don't know what the timeline of it could be.
Greater Good Imperial Brewing Company in Wooster says they luckily weren't planning on making any new type of beer soon, but if the shutdown continues, they could run into issues.
Every now and then we've got the Sole Purpose brand here where we do a smaller batch of a newer beer where maybe it's really adjunct heavy, there's fruit in it or something like that, where you don't do as much of it and you do need to register that new label. So fingers crossed that it's not too long.
The TTB's website says when the shutdown is over, they will work to restore service as soon as possible. Outside Greater Good, Brittany Schaefer, Wooster News Tonight.